Did it do it? It did. Welcome. Hey, cousin. Welcome to my humble sage cave, known as the Party Bird. Yeah. It's the most expensive church outside of Bizarro World. It's just right of the Twilight Zone. So welcome.
I love it. You guys are so great.
Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this trilogy called God Said. Because God did not say that in any part of this fucking book. Fuck off, fight me. We are on the book called Jesus, Who? Question mark. That is book 2. And we're on the 3rd chapter. Well, no, it'd be like the 1500 billionth chapter of book 2. Because book 2 is broke down into different books. So then maybe technically I'd be on book 5 of the trilogy. Yeah, that sounds a bit nuts. I don't know what the fuck to call it. But we are definitely in the 2nd book. And we are on the chapter Luke. That's what it is. We are on chapter Luke. And what I have. Look, however that goes, make it make sense in your own mind because I have no fucking idea. Anyway, we are on chapter 3 of the section Luke and book number 2. Yeah, the Luke section. Sounds like it's an orchestra. Over here, Luke. Dun, dun, dun. Look, I don't know what's happening, but something's going on. Look, look, look. If trying to figure out this madness sounds great to you, come this way, because I have the 6 C's for whatever time it is where you are. I have cannabis, cigarettes, coffee, cheers with your name on it, stay out of Jimmy Juggalo's lap, that's Firefly Spot. but her girlfriend is like right next to it. So there's a chair over there. So feel free to take it. Yeah, that's a good time. And I also have cat beds and canine space if you brought your animals on the space journey. I have room for them. Oh, and I also have a giant backyard if your dog needs to, do his business. I got a giant backyard. Keep them out of the garden because I'm growing tomatoes for the groundhog. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know even if the tomatoes are going to grow. I don't know what's happening. So hopefully they grow or these groundhogs are not going to be fat for very long. And with that being said, welcome. How are you? Let me know where you're coming in from, what you're drinking, and what you're smoking, and I'll go ahead and say hi. Hey, Firefly, we saved you a seat. Did you notice? Is Nicole Slaw coming? Oh, you did it. You named yourself Nicole Slaw. No way. Oh, that's so fantastic. You are amazing. You are my whole life right now. I can't even take it. Like, you guys are amazing. I was wondering if you were going to come in. I was wondering. Hi, cousin. Hi, Muddy. Did you meet Nicole Slaw? I can't even. Man. Miss Muddy, look, she's funny. Nicole Slaw. Did you did you meet her? I mean, you can say coffee or water, and smoking cigarettes counts because I smoke hella cigarettes. And please, you did, my dear. Man, you're so amazing. This chat is everybody, every creator I've ever heard is like, this chat is the best chat. Look, your crew finds you when you go live. Look, Lawyer You Know said that once. You can go live and your crew will find you. And that's why everybody is like, I have the best chat because they do. Their chat gels with them. And I feel like my chat gels with me, and you guys are the best ever. Right? I mean, I feel like that way. You guys are gelled on me like I rub myself in Vaseline. That didn't even make any sense, but we'll go with it. I rubbed myself in super glue and stuck you guys to me. But anyway, yesterday I got really confuzzled about, I don't know if you guys watched the video from the live stream last night or not, but I was really confuzzled about Luke because I didn't realize Luke wrote his own book. I thought he sold this story to the Roman journalists like everybody else did, but apparently he did not. And I talked mad shit for a little bit until I actually did research on camera, and it's like, oh, he didn't write, or he did write his book. He didn't even sell his story, or he sold this story to the newspaper in his own name, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, we're going on to chapter 3, and this shit is extremely detailed and extremely long, and you may fall asleep in the middle of it. Just keep in mind it's written by a doctor. So it's going to be extremely detailed because doctors are like that. That's why they stick you in the hospital for days longer than you need to be there because they're extremely detail oriented. And with that being said, let's take off our Devon Dudley sunglasses so we can read this extremely detailed book. And that means all of it's going to be detailed. So you might actually see me get highly emotional towards the end of this book because I can't take life. All right, so let's do the damn thing. I was no, then that means you guys would slip off of me, Nicole Slaw. That is the best. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna giggle every time. You tickled my insides. It's like you stuck your finger in my belly button and just tickled my insides with that name. All right, we got our Devon Dudley sunglasses off. Let's read chapter 3. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you what happened in chapter 1 and 2. Oh yeah, like he went through the whole thing of Jesus' birth. And so far, this is the only book that said Jesus was born outside. That's right. This is the only book that says he was born outside. Remember, in the other books, he was born inside, and like the wise men, like literally busted the door in to like set Jesus up and give him like tons of money when he was born so he didn't have to struggle. It was some kind of shit, but these wise men made Mary and them rich as fuck. And then Mary didn't even tell Jesus who he was or what he was. And he found out on his own when he was like 12, right? And then he kind of, well, he didn't exactly run away. He just kind of snuck off and hid while everybody was leaving. And then like his mom and them are looking for him, and they're like, they find him and he's chilling in the temple. And they're like, come on, boy, before we bust that ass, what are you doing? And Mary's like, your father and I were looking for you. And Jesus like, didn't you know I should be like, it's my dad's weekend? Like, shouldn't you leave me at my dad's? It is the weekend. And they had no fucking idea what Jesus was talking about. And mostly because Mary never told anybody who Jesus was, including Jesus. So she forgot or just kept it a secret. And like Jesus called her out on it when he was 12 and then called her out on it again when he was like 30, 32. He might have been 32. Yeah, because his twirling lasted like a year and he died at 33. Well, he turned 33 and then he died. So yeah, he called his mom out on it again when he was like 32. Anyway, we're not there. Well, we're past it, but we'll get there again. So there's that. So now let's see what. Okay. I'm going to stop paying attention to chat. I thought you guys were talking to me. Okay. So, chapter 3. Now, in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, when Pontius Pilate was governor of Judea, and Herod was I don't even know what that means. Mayor? He was mayor of Galilee, and his brother Philip was mayor of the region of Ataturia. And this guy's name that looks like Trichomonas, the STD, and Lysanias was mayor of Abilene. And in the high priesthood of Anna and Caiaphas, the word of God came to John in the wilderness. And he came into all the district around the Jordan, preaching a baptism of repentance for forgiveness of sins, as it is written in the book of the words of Isaiah the prophet, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make ready the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Every ravine shall be filled up, every mountain and hill shall be brought low, and the crooked become straight, and the rough road smooth, and all flesh shall see the salvation of God. He therefore began saying to the multitudes who were going out to be baptized by him, you brood of red snakes, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Therefore, bring forth fruits in keeping with repentance, and do not begin to say to yourselves, we have Abe as our father. Because I'm telling you what, God is evil. God is able from these stones to raise up children to Abe. And also, the axe is already laid at the root of the trees. Every tree, therefore, that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Look, I don't know. No, actually, I said it when I was still making videos. Don't be a light in a room full of lights. That's why these people don't see this axe at their tree roots, because they're not bearing good fruit, they're bearing evil shit, right? And John right here is telling them, you are rotten rat snakes and God's about to get rid of you. You better do something different, right? But they are all lights in a room full of lights. They don't leave their safe haven to go out and spread light other places. They just stay where they are. And they expect people to come to them because it's a rule. Like, these people really follow rules, but okay. And the multitudes were questioning him, saying, then what do we do? And he would answer and say, let the man who has 2 tunics share one with him who has none, and let him who has food do likewise. And some tax gatherers also came to be baptized, and they said, what do we do? And he said, collect no more than what you have been ordered to. And some soldiers were questioning him, saying, and what about us? And he said, Do not take money from anyone by force or accuse anyone falsely, and be content with your wages. Now, while the people were in this state of expectation, and all were wondering in their hearts about John as to whether he might be the Christ, John answered and said, "As for me, I baptize you with water. One is coming who is mightier than I, and I am not fit to untie the thong of his sandals. He will baptize you with fire, and his winnowing fork in his hand, winnowing fork in his hand to thoroughly clear his threshing floor, and to gather the wheat to his barn. But he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire." So with many other he, exhortations, he preached the gospel to the people. But when Herod the mayor was reproved by him on account of his brother's wife, an account of all the wicked things he was doing, he added this also to them, that he locked. Wait. Of all the ways you're going to get super detailed, you're just not going to get detailed about this. Okay. This is, oh, this is hard to read because it's set all fucked up. Oh. Listen, Nicole. Look, I gotta concentrate. But when Herod the mayor was reproved by him on account of Herodias, his brother's wife, an account of all the other wicked things he was doing, he added this also to them all, that he locked up John in prison. Now it came about when all the people were baptized, Jesus was also baptized. And while he was praying, heaven was opened, and the Holy Spirit descended on him in a bodily form like a dove, and a voice came out of heaven saying,
"You see this guy? This one right here. That's my son. He's a fucking shit. Yeah, listen to him. Fish sandwiches for everybody. Yeah, it's a good time." Y'all, listen, it's a good time. Listen to Jesus, for he is the wisest. And he's also a wise ass. Look, Jesus is a shit talker from way back, so good luck.
okay. And when he began his his tour, Jesus himself was about 30, being supposedly the son of Joseph, the son of Eli. Oh my God. He's supposedly the son. See, look, good job, Luke. Good job, Luke, because Jesus is not the son of Joseph. So good looking. Yeah, look. Okay, and then it's going to go through all the thing of Joseph's lineage. That has nothing to do with Jesus at all. So verses 24 to the end of it, 38, is the genealogy of Joseph that has nothing to do with Jesus. It's a good time. Look, nobody knows what's happening, but I know we are moving on to chapter 4. So what did you guys think about that? Look, there's many reasons you can't be a nun. First one is you're in my chat. Anyway, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But I do know, let's take a cigarette break and a smoke break before we go on to chapter 4. So, smoke break time real quick. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Please chat in the chat. I would love to interact with you. And press like and subscribe because, well, we're fucking awesome here and you are welcome anytime. Chat in the chat. Or like, share, and comment. Yeah, you can comment also because I turn these into videos. You know, cut out all the talking and whatnot. So that's cool. Wow, I just went from 7 to 4. Why do people pop in at the break? Like, man, 3 people left in like 5 seconds. But it's I need to smoke a cigarette before we go to chapter 4. Damn. Hey, do you see me getting depressed over here? Yeah, the mad preacher. I love that name for you. Because your hair makes the whole thing work. You know, like mad scientists, they got all like Einstein. He didn't have time to wash his hair. He didn't know how to tie his shoes either. And you got the hair. You could be like Dr. Frankenstein. Because he's got the hair too. Yeah. The hair is the whole reason that I have this wig on. Is because people with long fucking throwed out hair, they're definitely mad about something. Yeah. Well, you know what we call that? We call that a sheep dressed like a wolf. We're fitting in to get in, man. Fuck yeah. Look, look. You and Firefly, you are the prettiest sheep in wolf's clothing I have ever seen. If I was gay, I'd take you both on a date. But I tried to do that once and immediately left because it freaked me out. So, more power to you guys for not being scared of that area of people's body, especially females. Shout out. Look, maybe I'll tell you guys this story offline on Discord one day. And both of you will probably laugh at me and never talk to me again. Because it was a thing. And you know what song? Look, I told my dad that story, you know, why I could never be gay. And my dad was like, "You're an idiot." I was like, but it had teeth, I swear. Hey, more power to you. I'm scared of it. Hey, hey, yeah. Look, but eventually, we're gonna get to chapter 4. What do you think about this so far? Like how detailed some of this stuff is? Like with Luke, like a lot of it is like super detailed. But then other parts, like this part with Herod, it's not very detailed. No. Well, see, there was one time that I thought I might be, which is how I ended up in the situation finding out that vaginas have teeth. I I decided right then it's strictly dickly. And I made it through prison without being gay. Look, that is a feat because prison is a lonely place. And the only thing you have is another girl. And luckily for me, I'm funny. So I could just make girls laugh. And I'm telling you, the key to a woman's heart is laughter. All you gotta do is make her laugh, and she'll be your girlfriend forever. Swearsies. Because that's how I made it out of prison without being gay. I didn't even have to like cut my hair or anything like that. Although I did start dipping because I thought it was the coolest shit ever. Yeah, I did. And I crocheted. Never mind. But girls need laughter in their life. If you can make a girl laugh, she'll be your girl forever. Yeah. If you can make a girl laugh, she'll find a reason to defend you no matter what you do to her, which is sad. It's really sad. Laughter is the saddest thing sometimes, but it can also be the best thing sometimes. Hey, what's up, Wheels? Hey, Nicole Saw, did you meet Wheels before? Wheels was my first kiss. Haha. Yeah. And that was like fucking 30 some odd years ago. Hold on. Who was it? George Lopez. Well, he said something. Never mind, I forgot. Oh, good. Yeah, it was like, oh, it was like 10,000 years ago. Man, we had such a good time. Man, we're still having a good time. And Wheels, you walked in right at the perfect time. We're taking a smoke break and we're talking about some weird ass shit. So pretty much, I guess it's a free for all. All right, Neil, thank you. But you could stay long because we have a chair for you. You could just light up a cigarette and just stay for just 1 minute. Yeah. You know, it'll be like you were in a room with your friends and like, nah, come and smoke this. You'll be here just a minute. Don't worry about it. And then 3 hours later, your wife is calling you, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, oh, guys, I gotta go, man. Shit, what time is it? It could be like that kind of thing. That is a valid scenario that just played out in my head right now that gives you an excuse to hang out. Man. Oh, I had a cigarette this whole time. See, I'm out of control. All right, let's hit this bowl one more time. Really? You know? Yeah, awesome, Neil. You want to hit this bowl before we go on to chapter 4? Let me warn you real quick, just real quick. We are on the book Luke, and Luke was a doctor, so some of these things are extremely detailed. Exactly. You have premonitions. Don't premonish me, okay? Because premonishing me is don't do that. Because I don't want to know. Uh, man. We got all sorts of weird ass people in here, man. I love you guys. Anyway, Neil, wait, and everybody else. Again, a doctor wrote this book. It's extremely detailed in some aspects and not so detailed in other aspects. So I think what Luke is trying to do is not draw attention to the not so important shit, like about John, and being extremely detailed about the Jesus shit, the stuff that matters. Do you think Miss Muddy or Nicole Slaw? Because you guys have been, I mean, really anybody else, what do you guys think? While we're smoking this bowl, do you have any feelings on what we've read in Luke so far? Like, does that seem like what it is? He's trying to not draw attention to the not important stuff, like the stuff with John, and pointing out in closer detail the stuff about Jesus. And I don't know is a valid answer because I don't know either. Okay, chapter 4. And Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led about by the Spirit in the wilderness for 40 days, being tempted by the devil. And he ate nothing during those days. And when they had ended, he became hungry. And the devil said to him, if you really are the SOG, tell this stone to become bread. And Jesus said, man shall not live on bread alone. And the devil led him and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said to him, I will give you this domain and its glory, for it has been handed over to me, and I give it to who I wish. Therefore, if you worship before me, it shall be yours. Bow down. And Jesus said, Oh, you shall worship the Lord your God and serve him only. And he led him to Jewland and had him stand on the pinnacle to the pit. And he standed on the pinnacle of the temple and said, if you really are the SOG, throw yourself down from here. For it is written, he will give his angels charge concerning you to guard you. And on their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. And Jesus answered and said, look, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. Don't test me. And if you do test me, say it with your chest. Yeah, say it with your chest. Yeah, like I'm telling you to fuck off with my chest. Yeah. And when the devil had finished every temptation, he departed until the opportune time. And Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread throughout all the surrounding district. And he began teaching in their synagogues. So he brought their Torah to their space and was praised by all. And when he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, as was his custom, he had his tour on the Sabbath and stood up and read. Oh, here we go. Look, Jesus about mic drop. He's about to use their own shit against them. Here we go. Word Magic 101. Look, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and a recovery of sight to the blind, to set free those who are downtrodden, to proclaim the favorable year of the Lord. And he closed the book and gave it back to the attendant and sat down. And everybody was looking at him like that was the shortest concert ever. And he began to say to them, today's scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing. And all were speaking well of him and wondering at the gracious words which were falling from his lips. And they were saying, no, this has to be Joe's kid. Look, no. And he was like, no doubt you will quote this proverb to me. Physician, heal yourself. Whatever we heard was done at Capernaum, do here in your hometown as well. And he was like, look, I'm telling you, no prophet is welcome in his hometown. But I tell you, truthfully, listen, I'm telling you, there were many widows in Jewland in the days of Elijah, when the sky was shut up for 3 years and 6 months, when a great famine came over all the land. And yet Elijah was sent to none of them, but only to Zarephath in the land of Sidon, to a woman who was a widow. Oh, yeah. and he gave her so much oil. Yeah. She was like, we're going to die, me and my son. We got one cake. And Elijah was like, well, make it for me. And she was like, but it's one cake. I'm going to die. And he was like, shut up, woman. I want some food. And she gave him some food. And then Elijah made sure her and her son had oil for a long time. Yeah, they can make cake. Okay. And there were many lepers in Jewland in the time of Elisha, and none of them was cleansed, but only Naaman, the Syrian, and all the people in the synagogue were filled with rage as they heard these things. It's because Jesus is like, no, like only one of you guys is going to get helped, really, because you people suck. And they was mad as fuck. Yeah. Wait, who? Okay, Neil, good night. Wait, Nicole, Nicole Slaw, where are you going? Oh, I'm so confused now. Look, I gotta finish this real quick. Okay. And they rose up and cast him out of the city and led him to the brow of the hill on which the city had been built in order to throw him off the cliff. But passing through their midst, he went away, and he came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and he was teaching them. He was throwing another concert on the Sabbath, and they were amazed at his teaching, for his message was with authority. And there was a man in the synagogue possessed by the spirit of an unclean demon, and he cried out with a loud voice,
"What do we have to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are. Son of the Holy God. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Yeah. You are the Holy One of God. You are God the Third. I'm telling everybody.
okay. And Jesus rebuked him, saying, be quiet, come out of him. And when the demon had thrown him down in their midst, he came out of him without doing any harm. And amazement came upon them all, and they began discussing with one another, saying, what is this message? For with authority and power, he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out. It's crazy. And the report about him was getting into every locality and in the surrounding district. And he arose and left the synagogue and entered into Simon's home. Now, Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, and they requested of him on her behalf. And standing over her, he was like, get the hell up, I need some food. And while the sun was setting, all who had any sick with various diseases brought them to him, laying his hands on every one of them. He was healing them. And the demons were also coming out of many, crying out and saying, you are the Son of God. And rebuking them, he would not allow them to speak, because they knew him to be, look, Christy. And when they came, he departed and went to a lonely place. And the multitudes were searching for him and came to him and tried to keep him from leaving them because they're greedy rat snakes and they want to hoard him away. But he said to them, you can't hide me away, you terrible ass people. I'm sorry, that's not what he said. He said, I must preach the KOG to other cities also, for I was sent for this purpose. And he kept on having his concerts in the synagogues of Judea. Okay, so okay, so I don't know. Yeah. So what do you guys think so far? What do you think of Jesus' brazen attitude? And then he like escaped from the people. They were gonna throw him off a cliff. I love the detail and the foreshadowing. Yeah, like this shit is, but it is a mind work, and this is kind of a mind bending story. Well, just the whole story of Jesus, because you've got like four different versions of the same couple stories, and a lot of them are in detail, and other ones are in more detail, and it's kind of crazy, but they're kind of the same stories from four different perspectives. Although Luke, I think Luke tells a couple more stories than the other books do. Hey, if we ever read Revelations again, that's all John did was take psychedelics and write pissed off stories. Like he's mad at fucking everybody. They burned him and boiled him in oil 3 times and then threw him on an island somewhere with a pen and some paper. And he did nothing but talk shit. Like, and it's funny shit. And it talks about, well, people say it's the end times, but really, it's what happened before. Like what happened before Genesis. It's crazy. And boiled John in oil 3 times. I don't know if that really happened or not, but my mom, she's always told me John was boiled in oil 3 times. And then thrown on an island. Yeah, triple boiled. And he survived all 3 times. You should read Psalm 22. That is the hardest psalm to read. Psalm 22. Because it's Jesus' death, only fast forwarded and wrote really fast. Yeah, well, we stopped in the middle of the story of David to read the story of Jesus. Yeah. Did you know, like, tomorrow's the 22nd or 23rd? Read Psalms 23 and Proverbs 23 in the morning time and see if it doesn't go with your day. Like, see if you couldn't find something about your day that goes in either one of those because they they seem to fit in with the days of the month. It's crazy. I used to have a whole playlist of the Psalms and Proverbs because I read them one time. Uh-huh. Oh, it is coming up, ain't it? Hold on. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leads me to pastures and something or other about water. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that one. But I think that one's coming up too. How old are you gonna be now? 30? No, you have to be like 20. No, it's great to get old because then you can do things that other people tell you not to do, but because you're old, they can't really make you not do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But Psalm 22, that shit's all about Jesus. Yep. No, I don't wish I was 30 again because I would have been in prison. I'm happy being, oh my God, I'm going to be 40 in November. That is true, Ricky. Getting older is like the best shit ever. Because you can eat ice cream for breakfast and nobody tells you it's a bad idea because you already know it's a bad idea. So you do it anyway. Yeah. That's how I ended up with fake teeth. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how I ended up with fake teeth. I wish that's how I ended up with fake teeth. Man, that would have been so great. You're going to be 40 in October, so you're a Libra? Yeah, it's the System of a Down song. Well, partly the System of a Down song. So you're a Libra too. Man, how do two Libras live together? Man, that's got to be some shit. Or are you guys Libra and Scorpio? Because I'm a Scorpio and Dustin's a Libra. Yeah. And the best part, Dustin's a Libra, my daughter's a Libra, I'm a Scorpio, and my son's a Scorpio. What kind of luck is that, man? But my son's a lazy kind of Scorpio. He's a lazy Scorpio. But I'm also a lazy Scorpio. See, hold on. I'm a Scorpio with a Libra rising. Yeah. What are we doing? Well, so he's a, what would that be? Cancer? I don't know why I know these things. I'm not supposed to know these things. Well, I suppose I'm supposed to know them, but I'm not supposed to take stock in them. But sometimes those things are spot on, though. Huh. Feisty Phoenix. That's a hell of a name to give somebody. Hey, Nicole Slaw, my feisty Phoenix. Oh my God, I love you guys. Okay. Hi, everyone. Press like and subscribe and chat in the chat. I'd love to interact with you. Oh, my youngest turns 18 in October. My kids are 22, 19, no, 22, 20, and 18. Man. Man. These kids are getting too old too fast. Lucky you only having one kid. I have 3. Oh, man, we've talked about so much shit today. Do you guys want to read chapter 5 and then call it a night, or are you guys? I always wanted to have 2. Well, you better get that B.O.B. to squirt one. You guys want to hit this bowl with me? All right. Let's go on to chapter 5. Let's hit this bowl real quick. The Bob, battery operated boyfriend. Okay. Chapter 5. Yeah. Wait, no. You can't play corn until, or Limp Bizkit. You should never play corn unless you're ready to take a bath with a razor blade. No. You can play Limp Bizkit when the disciples and shit are running the road for Jesus Championship Wrestling. Then we can play some Limp Bizkit. Okay. Now, it came about that while the multitude were passing around him and listening to the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gerber baby food. And he saw 2 boats lying at the edge of the lake. But the fishermen had gotten out of them and were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, which was Simon's, and asked him to put out a little way from the land. And he sat down and began to teach the multitudes from a boat. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch." And Simon said, "Master, we have worked hard all night and caught nothing. But at your bidding, I will let down the nets." Okay, whatever you say, dude. And when they had done this, they enclosed a great quantity of fish, and their nets began to break. And they signaled to their partners in the other boat for them to come help. And they filled both of the boats so that they began to sink. But when Peter saw that, he did the face thing before Jesus, saying, "Depart from me, I am a sinful man, O Lord." Okay. This is how we know we fucking fit in. I'm sorry. I hate Peter, but this is how we know that the weirdos fucking count and Jesus don't give a shit about what you fucking say. Okay? Amazement had seized him and all his companions because of the catch of the fish they had taken. Okay. And so also James and John, the sons of thunder, who were partners with Simon and his brother Andrew, but his name is Peter. Okay. And Jesus said to Peter, "Don't fear the reaper. From now on, you will be catching men," because that's what we do. Okay. Catching men. Jesus on a boat and he's catching men. Okay. That's not how that went. Okay. And then they had brought their boats to land. They left everything and followed him. And it came about that while he was in one of the cities, behold, there was a man full of leprosy. And when he saw Jesus, he did the face thing and said,
Hey. Wrong one.
Hey. Wrong one.
Hey. Wrong one.
Hey. Yeah, that's the right one. Listen. Look. Do you see my face? Do you see how terrible it is? I used to be a good-looking man. I had ladies. But now I don't have any ladies. And also, I don't have skin on my face. So I was wondering if you could put skin back on my face. And I could be a handsome guy. And I'll follow the commandments. Like, yeah, I do that. I do that all the time. I do that so good. You would be like, man, why'd you do that so good? And I'll be like, because I'm such a good guy. Because Jesus put skin on my face. Yeah. If you wanted to do that, you could do that. I mean, I've heard about you. You could do that. Do you want to do that?
and Jesus was like, yeah, I could do that. Where am I at in life? Where am I at? Okay. And he did that, and he ordered him to tell no one. But his rat snake self, oh, wait, no, never mind, wrong part. But Jesus said, go show yourself to the priest and make an offering for your cleansing, just as Moses commanded for a testimony to them. But the news about him was spreading even farther to like the whole region. Everybody was waiting for a concert ticket. And the multitudes were gathering to hear him. And he healed. And wait, multitudes were gathering to hear him and be healed by his wellness clinic. That was free, by the way. It was a free wellness clinic. That's why the people wanted to go there, because the doctor was expensive. Even though Luke is a doctor and he's supposed to be doing a lot of things for charity, you know, his doctor abilities. But Jesus ran the whole wellness clinic and he did a good job. But he himself would often slip away to the wilderness and pray. And, and it came about one day that he was teaching, and there were some Pharisees and teachers of the law sitting there who had come from every village of Galilee and Judea and from Judeland. And the power of the Lord was present for him to perform healing. And behold, some men were carrying on a bed a man who was paralyzed, and they were trying to bring him in and set him down. And not finding any way to bring him in because of the crowd, they decided to rip off Jesus' roof and throw him through the hole. And that's what happened. And instead of being like, fix my foot, what the fuck are you doing? Jesus said, oh, you're so faithful. You would literally fuck my roof up for this guy. That is so faithful. Now fix my roof. He said, this guy is fine. Now please fix my roof. What are you doing? Like, why would you do that? You just put your arm up and gone through like, I have a backstage pass. Instead, you're like breaking my roof. That is very faithful thing of you, and I appreciate you believing in me that much, but please fix my roof. And the scribes and the Pharisee began to reason, saying, who is this man that speaks blasphemy? Who can forgive sins but God alone? The Catholics think they can, but okay. But Jesus, aware of their reasoning, answered and said, the fuck is wrong with you guys? What is easier to say? Just, why are you coming through my roof? Get the hell out of here. And then he can get up and run out. Or, hey, fix my roof. And then he's healed and he fixed my roof. And now we don't have a hole in the roof. Because if it would have been the first way, we would still have a hole in the roof. So I think not having a hole in the roof is a lot better than having a hole in the roof. Don't you think? But in order that you have to fucking know, the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins. And he said to the paralytic, fix my roof. Okay. And at once he rose up before them and took up what he had and fixed Jesus' roof. And they were seized with astonishment and saying, oh, and began glorifying God. And they were filled with fear. They were filled with fear, saying, what the fuck just happened? And after that, he went out and noticed a tax gatherer named Matthew, not Levi, it's Matthew, sitting in the tax office. And he was like, come on, dude. And Matthew was like, all right, I'm coming on, dude. And Matthew gave a big reception for Jesus in his house. And there was a great crowd of tax gatherers and other people who were reclining at the table with him. And the Pharisees and their scribes began grumbling at his disciples, saying, why do you drink with tax gatherers? And Jesus said, it is not those who are well that need a physician, but those who are sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance. The weirdos fucking fit in. We just gotta be weird with Jesus. And they said to him, the disciples of John often fast and offer prayers. The disciples of the Pharisees also. But you guys don't. And Jesus is like, because we're not sad. We don't have nothing to be sad about. So we don't need to. And it took me forever to understand what this means, but I think I know. Wait, what was I saying? Firefly, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Man, I don't know what I was saying. I don't know what I was saying. No, it's okay. It's okay. it took you. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Jesus said, um, we're not fasting because we're not sad. Okay. And he told them a parable. No one tears a piece from a new garment and puts it on an old garment. Otherwise, he will tear and the new piece will tear from the old piece. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the new wine will burst, and the skins and it will be spilled out and be ruined. I think what he's saying is because they were like, why don't you all fast? Because that's the old way of doing shit. And then Jesus is like, you don't mix old with the new because everything will be ruined. And Jesus is saying they don't fast because they're not sad. That's the new way. And you don't mix the two. It's okay. It's okay, guys. It's all right. Okay. Well, what do you think about that? Like, you can't mix old and new. And Jesus is using this parable for fasting. The old way fasts and the new way don't, right? Something like that. I'm going to assume it's something like that because it took me a really long time to think of that. Like, it's the fourth time I've read this story. It's taken me 4 times to think of that. But new wine must be put in fresh wineskins, and no one, after drinking old wine, wishes for new. He says the old is good enough. So maybe people stuck in their ways don't want to do anything new. So even if it is a new thing, those who like the old way are always going to do it the old way because they don't want to try nothing new. Something like that. Yeah, I thought it might be something like that. See, listen, I psychoanalyzed the Bible one time and I got it right. Fuck yeah. No, actually, I think I get it right a lot of the time. Right. And like, I think that's like if you're old and you're trying to do something, like if you've been doing something for such a long time and then you try to add something new to it, it all gets fucked up. Like a lie. If you tell a lie long enough and then you try to rethink a lie, it all gets ruined if you're trying to cover something up. But then new facts come along. Something like that. I don't know if it's exactly like that, but it has to be something like that, right? Like, if you're used to doing old things, don't try to do something new. I don't know. It has to be something like that because why else would he say it? Especially in that context of like We don't have to fast because we're not sad. Hey, drunken wizard, meet Nicole Slaw. She's my alter ego. I'm just kidding. She's great though. And I think we just figured something out. And you were super late. Always super late. Okay. We're at an hour and a half. And we're leaving off at chapter 6. Smash. So tomorrow we'll get on chapter 6. I don't know what I just dropped. Let's hope it wasn't anything important. Oh, yeah. That's right. They are fiancés. And they're getting married in my backyard. Yep. And Ricky and her feisty phoenix. Nicole Slaw, the feisty phoenix. Oh, that is the greatest. I love you too. So, CNA, we started a new book yesterday. And yeah, strawberry mousse. Strawberry mouse. Oh, is that moose or mouse? My strawberry mousse. Like the creamy shit. Mm. Damn. Smash. Aw, you guys in your lovey-dovey bullshit. Wow, I really thought that said she's my malicious kitten. Could you imagine if you called her malicious kitten? She's my malicious kitten. Yeah, Mad Preacher, I'm telling you, it's the hair. It's the hair that does it. It just makes the whole Mad Preacher look fitting. I like it. I'm going to drop some hot beats. H. Well, if you need a venue and a preacher, the party pen has you fixed up. Just remind me so I can clean up my backyard because it's set up for raccoons and cats. Oh, and you'd be able to feed the raccoons cheese. They love cheese. Yeah, and they'll grab your hand and they'll stand up and grab your leg and wait for cheese. They love that shit. But you got to be careful though, because they will fight over it and they will almost bite your hand off. Well, it's okay. You can have a party pen wedding. You can have a party pen wedding. You don't need a church wedding. I mean, you could have I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, you can feed them. I love them. That is most of the shorts on this channel are my raccoons. Well, they're not exactly my raccoons. They're the outcasts of like the raccoon world. They literally live in the trees and under my porch, and they eat here. Oh yeah, shameless plug. Hold on. I need help taking care of these raccoons and these cats. It's a real problem because the people around here, they get boy cats and then they throw them outside the first time they spray instead of getting them fixed. So I have a bunch of stray boy cats that hang out in my backyard, and like 8 raccoons, I think like 2 or 3 of them ran away. So now I have like 8 raccoons. So I need help feeding these things. So if you feel like it, please help me. And I am growing vegetables for the groundhogs. Those I can take care of because their food just grows and I can just plant seeds and just grow their food. So they are very easy to take care of. But these raccoons, not so much. And these cats, there's so many of them and they're all boys and they're hungry. All my inside cats are girls and they're fixed. But all the cats outside are boys and they are not fixed. Oh shit. Girl, don't do that because I got the disability. I get that fucking disability check and it doesn't even fucking pay not even 1/3 of my rent. So, like, don't fuck up your disability to help me pay for these raccoons. Yeah. Just promise me you're not fucking up your disability because I'm $950 doesn't even cover toilet paper to wipe my ass with. So don't fuck up your disability. Make sure you planned appropriately. I don't want you to be down and out because I won't be able to send it back. Okay. And it's really going to help the animals. Really. I promise I won't even buy cigarettes with it. Because I roll my own cigarettes because I'm a cheap bastard. But I promise I won't even buy cigarettes. I'll buy dog food and cat food and maybe ice cream. You'll let me go for ice cream, right? Just a little bit of ice cream. No, you can still talk about the wedding because girls always, hey, they're rolling their own cigarette shit. Literally $20 a week. That's what I spend on cigarettes. Haha, cool. It's all right. Welcome, Wheels. Man, I love you so much. So then, Nicole saw I have permission to buy ice cream. Hey, that gift stuff always comes with some kind of string. Just tell me no cigarettes and that'll be a string. You work at a smoke shop? Yeah. I love that. You guys are going to be able to sell weed soon, aren't you? Hey, that look, pretty soon it's going to be okay. You're going to be able to get married in your church. Just one of you guys will have to wear a suit and just put some bass in your voice. Just make sure you get a suit that covers up those gigantic titties. Like, I'm a man. Damn. Oh, yeah, because you guys are so close to Indiana. Yeah. I heard Indiana sucks about weed. Like, worse than Utah. Which they will give you a life sentence if you get caught with weed there. It's crazy. Well, then wear a dress out. Or you could wear your dress and then put bass in your voice like, I do, baby. Don't listen to me. I could never. I don't get married. It's too much paperwork. And man, I love you guys, and we're sitting here planning your wedding for you. I bet you guys are like, man, these guys need to fuck off. I can't wait to see that. But when you guys get married, can I wear pink? I'll wear pink on the live stream. You can live stream your wedding through Discord or something. Or I'll live stream your wedding from here. You just gotta we'll use Restream because oh, did you see Muddy's picture? Oh man. Muddy has one of those uh Victorian dresses and she was riding a horse. Yeah. Those pictures are on Discord. She had a pretty horse. Man, she has pretty horses. Did she disappear? She was here. Hey, wifey. Ha ha. Look, it's Kemp. That's Wheels' wife. Are you having fun, Kim? You guys should hang out. Yeah. You guys can sit right there. Oh, well, yeah, you can sit right there next to my stuffed animals. I have so many stuffed animals right there. Haha. And they're real comfy. So if they come to life, they're at least comfortable. So they won't murder me in my sleep. Is anybody else scared of toys or is it just me? Because I make sure like all my toys are like facing out and comfortable. Because I have this irrational fear of toys getting angry. I guess I'm the only one with fear of toys. Man, ever since I was a kid, I've been scared of toys. Man, I need to get over myself. But toys are fucking scary, man. Stuffed animals are the best, except for if you're scared they're going to strangle you in your sleep. Oh. Well, mine aren't going to strangle me in my sleep because they're comfortable. I'm just glad none of the boy cats have sprayed on them. Beer shots are, man, if I still drink beer, beer shots are amazing. You can end up doing so many fun things taking beer shots. You guys should go out to a bar one time and do some karaoke. Go to Derby's. Derby's has the best karaoke. Oh, I just realized you said Bonifer Lopez. I was trying to figure out what the fuck that was. Oh, I have the irrational fear of dark blue skies. Does that mean something's gonna happen? Just, oh, yeah, something's gonna happen. There's about to be a storm. Jennifer Lopez, though. It took me a hot second to think of what that was. Does that mean your bunny has a big ass? Man, this wig is itchy. Well, then say it. Whatever it is, say it. But just word magic it into something YouTube won't find offensive. Well, that made me almost choke to death. So, listen, the other day, Dustin Dustin's mom kind of tried to scare me out of feeding the raccoons because if one of them accidentally bites me, I might get rabies, and then they would have to cut the heads off of all the raccoons because I might have rabies. Oh, incubus, because Faith No More is shit. Is it incubus make yourself or the science of things? Because the science of things is kind of, it's a bit of a bland CD. But Incubus, the Make Yourself, has like every good song on it. That is a really good CD. Faith No More only has like one good song. You want it all, but you can't have it. It's in your face, but you can't grab it. Yeah. Oh. Oh shit. Yeah, my phone's on bedtime mode. I don't get no messages after like 11 o'clock. It's in your face, but you can't grab it. No. No. Yeah, Morning View. Whose album is The Science of Things? I thought that was Incubus. Oh, I've never heard their version of War Pigs. Oh, yeah. let's because Ozzy Osbourne just died, so we'll see him up in heaven because he's the biggest weirdo of all. And even though people are like, his music is about Satan, if you listen to a lot of the words, he's pretty much talking about the Bible like we do. You know, he's talking about God like we do. You know, like some of this shit is really awesome, and these people are terrible, and they should be called out for being terrible. And Jesus was calling them out for being terrible. And that's why Ozzy's going to be in heaven. And Bush is the science of things. Yeah. And Ozzy is great. And he will be in heaven. Although we're not going to know who he is because, you know, heaven right now is a battlefield. But it's not like Pat Benatar. Love is a battlefield. No, heaven is an actual battlefield. So we're going to hopefully, like, he'll be a good soldier in the army of the Lord because he's going to be up there because he is the biggest weirdo. Hold on. Love is a battlefield. I know, Lucky. I heard you. I'm not giving you treats, but I heard you. I was a cat knocking. Yeah. Something about Ozzy Osbourne put things in a different perspective. Like, even though a lot of the people were singing about, yeah, I just want to say a lot of the metal bands were singing about, like, I don't know how to put, just singing about random shit. Ozzy Osbourne was singing about real shit. And Slayer was singing about like Nazi war crimes and shit. And a lot of the bands were singing about the devil and stuff. But they were singing like anti-devil shit if you want to be honest about it. Like Ozzy and them were singing about just it's a different perspective on everything. How'd they save your life, Miss Nicole Slaw? That is the best name. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. And people call that devil music. They've never even read the words or listened to the words. They just go with the shock value. Like if you Like, and I think that's a lot of the thing that the preachers miss out on. Like, people like to be shocked. Like, if they just read the Bible in a real way, instead of making it different and this glorious thing, more people would turn to God if they were honest about Him than all this lying shit, because obviously people know that preachers and shit are lying about this book. And if they actually just read it, they wouldn't need a preacher and they wouldn't need anything. They would be able to. And I think that's the thing that Jesus was doing. He was using their own book against them to show them what they were doing wrong and to give the word to people that didn't know how to read or write, because the preachers were not doing it. The priests were not doing it. The poor people weren't getting the whole word. They only were getting what people were teaching them. And Jesus was like, no, no, no. All of you need to know what this book says. Yes. I think Sharon Osbourne was running Ozzy until he died. She's the one who made him go on that stupid tour. And she's the one that was trying to milk every penny that his name was worth before he died. And she sped up his death by making him do these things. Because, Sharon Osbourne is Ozzy's manager. She has been since like the early 90s, late 80s, something like that. She's in charge of Ozzy. I heard that album is good, but I don't know. I don't remember what songs are on that CD. Yeah, I'm telling you, Mad Preacher works for you, Ricky. It's perfect. Oh my God. Is somebody here? Baby? Oh, okay. Do you know what songs are on that Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album? No, Wheels has the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album. We were talking about Ozzy being dead. Are you going back to bed? Okay. Oh, do you need one of those purple things? Hold on. Oh, shit. Do you want some of these crackers? Shit. Okay, I'll be there in a few minutes. Oh, it's looking like Dawson's getting what I got last week, which was terrible. You don't want whatever's going around. I'm telling you, it's terrible. I was sick for days. But I didn't miss any days here. Wait, where'd everybody go? Okay, are we ready to say goodnight? We can say goodnight. Wait. Okay, everyone, are we ready to say goodnight? All right. Good night, guys. Okay. Okay. What about you, Wheels? Well, I was trying to wait for Wheels. I think he got too drunk on beer shots. Anyway, okay. Okay. Well, I'm about to hit the outro. I love you guys so much. Good night. Oh. Oh. I hope you guys have the greatest night ever. Enjoy listening to Ozzy. I love you guys. Good night.